Typically when somebody talks about a photo album, it's a book with a bunch of blank pages that they can paste a picture or a bunch of pictures onto a page so that later on they can flip through those pages and reminisce about all the fun times they had, or to show somebody else a little bit about their life and who they are. Here I'm going to show you how you can do the electronic version through PowerPoint's photo album feature, which can be found up here on the Insert tab to the Images group, and there it is. And you can see in the pop-up it says that you can create a beautiful presentation for your favorite photo collection. Either go ahead and click on the button or click on the drop-down arrow and choose New. Because we haven't created one yet, we can't edit it, so either one is going to create a new photo album. Click on it, and there we go. The first question it asks us is, where are all your pictures? Well, they're out here in some folder or file or on my DVD, so you can stick the DVD into the DVD drive, click on File Disk, navigate to your DVD drive, which you can go to the computer, and then over in the main window, find the drive, select it. But to keep it simple here, I'm going to go to Sample Pictures. And I can go ahead and select one picture and then insert and then come back, select another and insert. That's annoying, especially if I want all of these pictures here. All you have to do if you want all of them is to choose one, hold down the Control key and hit the letter A key. A is for all, selects all of them. Or if you want to do like maybe the first 5, select the first one, hold down the Shift key and click on the 5th one and it selects everything in between. Or if you want to be a little bit more pickier than that, go ahead and select the first one, hold down the Control key, and click on the other ones that you want to be selective about. I have a total of 4. Click on Insert, and there we go. And then basically that's it to get started. Let's just go ahead and click Create, and it inserts each photo one per slide. Well, the first slide is going to have the photo album title, and then it's by who? Me. How does it know that it's me? As you recall in an earlier training video, you want to set up your username in the backstage under Options to personalize your Microsoft Office, so not only when you do things like this, it knows who the author is, but also in other Office applications as well. It's universal. In any case, as a quick review, come up here and click on the File tab, go down to Options. General is selected by default. Under Personalize your copy of Microsoft Office, go ahead and type in your name, your initials, click OK, so you're the author. That's who it's about. And if it's not you, go ahead and click here and then just delete it and type in whoever it's for and click off. So like I said, you got a photo for each slide, just like a photo album. Now if you want to be able to customize this a bit more, maybe fit instead of 1 image per slide, maybe 2, then come back here, click on the Insert tab, go to the Images group, Photo Album down to Edit, because now we have that photo album created. Edit. So if I don't want the chrysanthemum, check the box. You get the options down below to remove it. And if tulips is the first picture that I took and I want it in chronological order like that in my presentation, then I can use the up arrow to move it up so it's the first slide in the presentation. And then over to the right, you can go ahead and flip the image. You can see it's flipped. Flip it back. You can change the contrast by contrasting it more between the different colors there, or decontrasting it, or making it brighter or less brighter, in any case you choose. You can even have all the pictures in black and white if you want to go for some classical theme. And you can see after you check it, over here in the preview it's black and white, so when you click Update, it updates everything in black and white. I'll uncheck that. Now the default for the picture layout is Fit to Slide. So if it's a really huge picture and you don't have it selected here, then what other options do you get? Well, you can have 1 picture per slide, or 2 pictures, or 4 pictures, or a picture with the title, 2 pictures with the title. Let's do 2 pictures per slide, and you can see over here in the preview that you got 2, and up here, instead of 1, 2, 3, we have 1 with the 2 images, tulips and desert. Then you have 2 with, well, we only have 1 image. If we had a 4th one, it would be lighthouse and whatever else would be there. And then back to the view here, you have these sharp edges around each image. If you want to change the shape of it, click on the drop-down arrow, and let's do rounded rectangles so it takes off those sharp edges. And then click Update, and there we go. There's slide 2, 2 images, slide 3, well, only has 1, so it's all by its lonesome. Let's go ahead and change that. Click on the drop-down arrow to Edit. And in fact, you do have a choice of themes. Click on the Browse button, and if you can't see the themes because the view is in something as tiny as list, and you're like, what the heck is integral? Then go ahead and click on the drop down arrow and choose large icons, and you can see, oh, it's that horrifying pattern that I don't like looking at. It bugs the eyes. In any case, choose it if you like it, or I will choose Office Theme and select, and then Update, and Slide 2. It's a bit easier on the eyes. The black makes it a little bit harder for me to go from one area to the next, seeing that there's such a contrast where the black makes it blend a bit more. And then Slide 3, hey, it has a text box. That's fancy. How did that get there? If you don't like it, you can click on the border of it, hit the delete key on the keyboard, or come up here and click on the drop down arrow to edit, and you'll see there's the text box. So you can see that when I select it, over here it says after you create your photo album, you can click a text box on a slide and type your own text. So if you want to explain in greater detail what this picture is about, then you can add a text box. Well, it added it by default after I did an update. If I don't like it, you can check it and remove it. But if you want some explanations to go to each image, then go ahead and select the image and click on New Text Box. Now notice what happens is it bumps the image desert from tulips onto its own slide. The reason why it does that is because remember that text box right here takes up the other half of it. So you can only have two images or one image and a text box, or I guess you could do two text boxes. Let's keep doing that. So you'll have one slide that has a couple of text boxes and no images. So let's go ahead and remove that. So we have the tulips, then the text box, then we have the text box, then the image desert, and then we have lighthouse. Let's add the text box there. Now, in addition to the text boxes, which can explain it in greater detail, over to the right-hand side, you can also add captions below all the pictures. So for those of us who are in a rush and we're not really interested that you went to lighthouse, but we are curious about what the lighthouse is or where it's at, you can add a simple caption saying this is the Oregon Lighthouse. And then over here, this is where we met and we had fun and it was all romantic. In any case, go ahead and click on Update so we can take a look at that now. And like I said, depending upon what comes first, the image or the text in that layout is what you're going to see here, the image, then the text. As opposed to Slide 3, we put the text box first, then the image. So you can mess with the order of operation there. And then down below, you can see the caption, desert. Oh, that's nice. You can go ahead and click in there and make some updates. Desert, where I got bitten by a nasty snake. And then over here you can go into more depth about how nasty it was, and you just ballooned up and almost popped, and in any case the more gory details, but I'll just keep it to the caption here. And I'll end it as thus. Now, you want to make sure that after you create it that you save it, because when I go back to my original presentation called Photo Album, when you create a new one, when I click on the drop down arrow, you see how it says create a new one? Well, what happens when you create a new one, it opens up a new blank presentation with a generic name, so it doesn't mess with the current presentation that you're in case if you create it from a presentation you're already working on. It opens up into a new presentation. So go ahead and click on Save. I'll call it my 3-image photo album. Click Save, and there you go. Updated the title, and now it's saved to my desktop. So later on, when I need to make any changes to add more photos, it's all in the Insert tab. I know you already inserted it, but that's where it's going to be thereafter. And then click on the drop-down arrow, file the disk to add more images, check the boxes to remove any changes you want to make after you initially set up your photo album. Then be sure to click Update.